Hey there guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to this video. My name is Victor Thorpe. I am a multiple-time Olympian and I'm also a bachelor in health and nutrition. In this video, I will be giving you my honest opinion after testing the Ultrahuman HOME device out for a couple of months. I have been using the Ultrahuman Ring Air for two and a half years, basically since they launched. Massive fan. I love the fact that they, unlike the other products out there, say the Oura Ring or the Whoop, they combine all these devices to basically have a full trackable ecosystem around you as the user. The Ring, obviously, all your metrics, your recovery scores, your activity scores, but then also having the M1 glucose monitor to constantly have your metabolism involved in this ecosystem. And then now the final new branch of the Ultrahuman system, the Ultrahuman HOME. I do think this is the most revolutionary one because it's something we don't see elsewhere on the market. I do think it's fantastic how these devices work together to give you recommendations. And in this video, I'm just gonna explain what would you get out of an Ultrahuman HOME if you decide to get yourself one. Now, I do think I might be a little biased because I am a professional athlete. My wife as well. We've been to a total of 5 Olympic Games, currently training for the Milano Games. So of course we want to do everything to improve every little detail in our lives, and being able to see and understand the environment we sleep in, we live in, we spend most of our day in is huge in terms of performance. But using this device for a while, I also understood that there is a lot of other things that may not necessarily be linked to performance, but just general well-being. And those are the things I'm going to try and dive into in this video. This device here comes at $466 US if you use the code I'll be putting in the description, and the link in the description here below, VT capital letters 10, and then you're gonna get 15% discount. Same goes for the Ultrahuman Ring Air if you don't have one already. The Ring is $296 with the discount, so that would give you a total of $830 US for both devices. I think that's pretty pricey, but I still think it's worth the money because the insights you would get is incredible, especially if you're comparing it to buying, say, a Whoop or an Oura Ring, where the subscription will very quickly go way beyond this amount. My wife and I spent 4 years wearing the Whoop, using the Whoop, and we already spent, well, at least 3 times the price of this and the Ring. So it really depends on your budget, but it is awesome data that you get out of this, but I also think it is fairly expensive. Same goes for all good wearables, more or less, that are on the market right now. So this little guy here, the box itself can basically measure anything in your surroundings in the area you live in that would have an impact on your health and your life quality. Say the air quality measures a bunch of different metrics here. Cool part is it's gonna gather those and put them in a more simple way. So basically air quality score. And then of course, if you want to dive into it, you can see CO2, all the metrics, the parameters that it bases this air quality score on. The same goes for the light quality, the temperature, the humidity, and the noise level. So we use this in our apartment, in our bedroom, but I do also think it would be really interesting playing around with it, which we did for a bit, using it in the kitchen, say in the living room, and so on, just to see, is this a healthy environment? And even though we've done what we thought was the optimal to optimize these things, well, we did learn a lot from using the home device. And I do think that's the main thing to stay focused on here. Like, why would you want to know things you can't really change? But there is definitely a lot of things, and the Ultrahuman software is fantastic. It's giving you some specific recommendations and things you can actually act on and change in your life when it understands this. So for us, a big one of them is the amount of CO2 when we're both there, or if we have friends, teammates over, when we cook dinner, the CO2 levels really spike beyond what's healthy. And that's the main thing we really understood. Like, wow, we live in Canada right now, it's pretty damn cold outside, so you don't want to open the windows for no reason. But when to aerate, we decided to get a humidifier, and also when to use these things to open the windows, basically. And it is much more frequent than we thought, and the timing of this has a massive impact. And that's the main thing we really felt a difference in terms of just feeling more awake and less brain fog after understanding that using this device. We also understood that light had a big impact on our sleep, so we decided to change our blinds for blackout blinds, because this measures that we actually do have a lot of light in the bedroom, and that's where it's super cool working together with the ring. So it can notice what time do we wake up, or at what time during the day or the night will we have lighter sleep than we should. And then combining that with understanding how much light actually comes into the room, it can tell us the main reason you didn't sleep deep enough for the last 2 hours is because there was too much light pollution coming into the room, instead of what could be your partner snoring and things like that. That is super cool, so you're not just like blindly trying to solve things that may not even be an issue. But these are super interesting things, and we're gonna bring this to all the World Cups, to the Olympics, to the World Championships, just to see what can we do in these different hotels or Airbnbs or studio apartments we're gonna rent throughout the year, and understand that, so that we immediately after the first night, like, oh wow, that was too noisy, we need to sleep with our noise canceling earbuds, or we need to sleep with a sleep mask, and things like that. You can finally understand here. I do think the air quality is probably the biggest ones, because there's very little way to actually understand it. You can't sense it without having a device like that. And then you just see the data here. Like, there could be a lot of reasons why you're tired. Could it be your workouts? Could it be something else? Now understanding like, oh, that was my training, or that was my home environment, is fantastic. And I do think the final reason I would buy this one more time is because it's a single time purchase, and you can use it in every room you ever go to, and you can easily see how those changes it recommends you based on your home environment actually impacts your body through monitoring via the ring or even the glucose monitor. I just think it's the easiest way to have everything combined in a single system. That's why we use the Ultrahuman, the Home, the ring, and the M1 glucose monitor. I made some other videos on the ring and the glucose monitor. I like it. My wife and I have been using it again for years, and I think this is a super interesting upgrade, and I have a strong feeling this is going to be kind of the future of biohacking, that we no longer just understand ourselves, but also understand how that environment around us impact us. And it could be simply things like you move to a new place, which room should become your bedroom, and which one could be a storage room or an office room. And yeah, when should you have a humidifier? Should you change that? And then understanding the environment, you'll be able to link that to your feeling and your objective feeling, as well as subjective, and just make changes according to that. Nice part is you don't have to be, it's not rocket science, because the Ultrahuman is gonna tell you. So super convenient. I do think it's cheap for understanding that data, having a little living scientist here, basically making your home a lab. And yeah, I love that. So I think it's a big expense, but the data, if you do care about health and you do care about optimizing your home environment, then if you have a smart ring, you should get an Ultrahuman Home as well. And if you don't have a smart ring, you should probably get one. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you want to check out the other videos I've made on wearables, biohacking, health tech, and of course, all the videos I make about skating. That is my passion. And the vlogs I post as I train for my 3rd Winter Olympics. Subscribe, comment, and hope to see you later.